Hey guys, welcome back to Exit 45. And so back on the Honda Civic. It's my daily driver, 400,000 miles. So it deserves a little attention. So we're going to give it to it. Today, there's kind of this kind of back and forth battle that I seem to have been caught in owning this car. Whether you change the fluid in the tranny or you don't. And I've heard it both ways, and I just went with the don't. Everybody said, oh, you don't touch them trannies, you just let them be. They're a lifetime transmission, and when it dies, it dies. And, well, 400,000 miles, and it doesn't sound healthy. There's Dad's with us today, as you can see. It's still running, but it doesn't sound as healthy as I would like. I think it's probably a combination of just really old fluid and really old fluid, and I think the fluid's probably a little low. So anyways, I did a little bit more digging, and why would this tranny have a drain plug if you're not supposed to service it? Just saying. So we're going to go ahead and service it. All right, so let me show you what we got to do this with, and I'll show you about what we're going to do underneath the hood. All right. Okay, so we've got a filter and a second filter. There's two filters for this. This has an O-ring on it. This comes with the three O-rings that you'll need. There's a gasket for your pan. And I'm going to change it 3 different times to try and get a full fluid change on it, since that fluid's been in there for 400,000 miles. I think it's probably worthwhile making sure it's all out of there. So that's what we got. I didn't get this anywhere fancy. I think I got it off of Amazon. You know, there are thousands of them out there. You know the gig. It's the exact same parts. You can see the picture, but they're some different name company. China. You got to love them. Anyways, so the air box here needs to come off. So what we're going to do is we'll pull the hose here. There's a Phillips screwdriver here and here. Probably just pull that one and pull it back. Then down here, looks like probably a 10 millimeter, and straight down in there's another one. This one's slotted, so I think this whole thing will slide this way and then should come out. So let me do that, and then we'll move on from there. I have no idea. I've never done this before, so. All right, there's that. Okay, so I got the screws out. All right, there's that. And my air filter. Ooh, look at that. There you go. We got it pulled out. And this right here is what was holding it down. Right there. It was right there. That's what was holding it down. So easy enough. Just slides right out of there. All right, so now we have access. We can start this process. So first thing we want to do is get the fluid drain. So we need to go underneath and get to the drain plug, and we'll start there. Right here is your drain plug, and you can just put your 3/8 socket right in, or ratchet right into it. That was tight. Yeah, that's it's not as bad as I thought this would be as far as stuff on the magnetic plug, that fluid is burnt. Something fierce. Okay, so now that we have the fluid's been drained out, this is where we'll fill it. This just pulls right off. And you'll want to use a long enough one so you can get to it. And it takes somewhere right around 4 quarts. So you can measure what you had in it and see see how much you drained out and add that back. In my case, I got some leaking going on down there, so my fluid level was probably low, so I can't really go off of that. So I'm just going to go basically with 4 quarts in here. I'm going to run the car, and then we'll do this again. I'm going to do that 3 times. So let's get this one done first. Okay, we'll put the fill plug back in, and we're going to go ahead and button up everything. We're going to take it for a quick drive, cycle the fluid through everything, and then we're going to repeat this 2 more times. And we're doing that so that we can get all the fluid you can't get to in the torque converter and other areas of the transmission, so that we can make sure our fluid is in good shape, especially since I've not changed the fluid ever, with 400,000 miles on it. So okay, we cycled the fluid twice, and so the next batch that we put in is going to be what stays in here. So we're going to go ahead and change the filters now. So this is some sort of a heat sink or fluid heater. I don't know exactly. It's got something to do with heat. I know that. But either way, there's 3 bolts that hold it on. Here, here, and then there's one just underneath. And they're a number 12. So we'll pull that, get that out of the way, and then there's a filter back in there that we're going to pull out and replace. Okay. And then in there, you can't really get there. And in there, you can see right there's your filter. There you go. And there's what a filter looks like after 400,000 miles. Let's get a new one on there. All right, so we got a new O-ring here. We'll set that aside. And then if you can look and see in here, right here, you can see there's 2 O-rings in there that I need to get. So let me get those off. All right, got one. Trying to occupy the same space. But there's the other one. All right, okay. So we got the new O-rings in the heat sink thingy. We got our new O-ring here, so let's go ahead and put this back together. Okay, I just put a little training fluid on that one. And we're gonna go back in with it. And it just goes in till it pops in. Right there, you feel it click in. And now, all I gotta do is put the bolts back on. Okay, so we're gonna work on getting all the bolts here out of the pan and get this pan down so we can get the last filter. Alright, so there's your filter. You got a bolt here and I believe a bolt right over here. So I'm going to pop those 2 bolts off and we'll swap this filter out. Alright, there you go. There's an O-ring on it right here. So let me get the new one and we'll get that on. Alright, so here's the new one. And it does have, let me make sure that, yeah, it does have its new O-ring on it. Let me get a little bit of this fluid and lubricate it. And then snaps right in, and then we put our bolts back in. Well, we got the pan down, we got it out. Let's just take a quick look, and looks not bad at all. There's not a lot down here, and quite surprisingly, those magnets don't have a whole lot on them either. Just a little bit, not what I expected to see for as many miles as I've got on this one. So, all right, I'm gonna empty this pan out, get it cleaned up real quick, just kind of wipe it out and clean it up. We'll put the new gasket on and let's get it reinstalled. All right, so we're cleaned up. I got the new gasket on. I'm gonna go underneath the car and put this on. There's no need for you guys to watch that, but do be aware when you pull the bolts out, there are 3 bolts that are different size from the rest, so make sure you remember where they go. That would be the only real caution I have as far as the oil pan goes. Alright, so I'll go underneath there and I'll catch you guys when I get back. Alright, there you go, the pan's on. Looks good. We're all good underneath here, buttoned up. All we've got to do now is put our air ducting back in and we are finished. Well guys, I hope this helps. You know, I'd say if you're going to do a full fluid change, you're going to change it out 3 different times until you get, you know, good fluid in there. You're probably looking at about 2 to 3 hours of work with you know, doing the filters and three train changes. If you're just going to do, you know, 1 cycle, you're going to drain it and then re-add again. You know, that's like doing an oil change, so not a big deal. Yeah, everything's pretty simple. You guys saw it, so I appreciate you guys watching. My recommendation to you is don't wait till you got 400,000 on it to do this. I would do it way before that. I got lucky. My transmission made it. The last couple of drives I took, it drives like a new car. The transmission's got some bite. She goes. It's not weak. So I think I caught it in time. So we'll see. All right. Thanks for watching.